Hello again.
Hi.
Here we are, still flat on our stomachs.
Just one of us has to be. You're choosing to.
That's right. That's right. Otherwise, we couldn't both be in this frame together.
Yeah, the stupid epidural shot was not helpful the first time, so I have to do it again.
Mm-hmm.
And the insurance is so great that they are making me postpone it, so more fun times to come.
Yeah. So even when, we go anywhere, Alex has to travel in the hatchback.
And lay on the floor.
Yeah, and lay on the floor everywhere we go.
It's terrible.
Gosh.
It's fine. It's terrible and fine.
Well, my friend Gina, when she was in a car wreck one time and she couldn't do anything except sit in this chair, I went to visit her and I said, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry that you can't, do anything." And she goes, "It's fine. God has me right where he wants me."
That's true. That's what I was saying to my therapist. I don't know what's happening. Everything that I had basically is taken away, and that's fine. There's the purpose, because it's a preparation season, and it will be past. I've overcome more difficult things, so.
Yeah. Has it been helping you to be still? Like within yourself, being still and quiet and...
I mean, talking to the therapist helps with that, and just processing life and using gratitude and deep breathing and And yesterday I was actually listening to this thing, and it said, Psalm 46:10 says, "Be still and know that I am God." And then the second verse says, "Be still." So you just have to learn to be. And then, what if we just learn to be? And basically that's what I'm doing, because I don't even get dressed. I just take
Stay
a shower.
in the same clothes.
Wear my husband's clothes sometimes, because not that easy to be moving around with this weird herniated disc. So that's fine.
Well, also because of COVID, nobody needs any clothes since we've all been staying at home. So last night we went out to dinner. Jose and I went out to dinner, and it was a big deal that we got dressed in blue jeans and didn't wear gym clothes, because we live in our gym clothes just like you're living in
pajamas.
Well,
athleisure has become the thing.
Yeah.
And actually that's the trend, and that's what I tend to buy when I look at clothes. So.
Oh, that's a good idea. I need a little bit more of that.
Yeah, there's good brands out there.
Yeah, when we go to Portugal, I'll need to grab
me
some
that's the trend there.
I don't know.
I
don't want to stand out like the ugly American.
They might not be on that trend.
Yeah.
All right, so what are we talking about today, ma'am?
Okay, well, we wanted
As we digress.
We do, but, such is life, ain't it? We wanted to talk about self-esteem, and we're on a journey. At least I am at 67, but not for the first time, on a journey to improve my self-esteem. I started reading Dale Carnegie's book about how to win friends and influence people, and it's pretty good. It has several principles. It's not too involved as far as that goes, as far as principles. He tells a lot of stories to reinforce these principles that he's, touting. And that's pretty good. I don't know if that's going to help me with my self-esteem. Maybe indirectly. You
never know what's going to help.
Right. So, but what our therapist has been saying is that the whole...
Our therapist is the same that we go to separately.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't do therapy together. That's crossing the line. No, I'm just kidding.
We need boundaries, more boundaries than what we have laying here on the same bed.
We're two people.
Some of the time. We used to be one person though when I was pregnant.
Oh, that's true. And then you were my nurse. You were the one who did everything for me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so self-esteem, that's a good
Yes.
topic. That's
Yes.
always good.
And so, yeah, I feel like I'm on a journey to that. And in fact, you know, our therapist said something to me very casually, very, you know, not pressured to about my self-esteem. And then actually you said something to me right after that. You were like, yeah, you probably could use some work on your self-esteem. I don't think you said it quite like
I
that.
wouldn't say it like that. I don't even know what you're referring to, so that's fine.
Well, I told you anyway. You said the same thing, and so I feel like that's, you know, it's a good place, and it's probably a good place for everybody to recognize. I mean, we can all use work on our self-esteem, right?
Yeah.
And the thing with me is that I don't want my self-esteem to make me be. I can't see myself as, well, maybe a little bit being cocky. But I don't want that to be my MO, you know, cockiness. Like from time to time, cockiness is okay. I think when you're like joking around and things. But if you're cocky all the time, I think you're going to become a very big pain in the butt. So a little bit of, but confidence. So I guess what I'm trying to say is a little bit of confidence goes a long way. What do you think about that?
Well, I think there's a difference between confidence and cockiness.
Yes.
Because you can be confident and humble. And I think that's the key. And I think self-esteem is so interesting. And, you know, I think as women, there's a lot of pressure that you feel to like be and look a certain way. Mm-hmm. And I think that controls the trick. And that's the lie.
Yeah.
That we sometimes see on social media. And I was talking to, I think, my therapist about this. Oh, I was.
Our therapist?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. About social media. Like, because honestly, I cannot do anything. And I took a meeting the other day wearing my pajamas. I didn't even, like, get dressed. And I told the girl, I left the camera on and I said, just disregard this. I don't care. I mean, I care. I don't care that much. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I don't care enough to get dressed. Not that you're not worthy of me getting dressed, but I just don't care if you see me like that. See me however you want. I'm being seen, and that's fine. Yeah. And I think that goes back to self-esteem because we were talking about social media. Mm-hmm. And, you know, you put most people, at least that's like what we talk about a lot with culture, you put your highlight reel. When life is messy, and life is ugly. Mm-hmm. And, you know, even when we cry sometimes, you know, there's like the ugly cry.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's become a trendy term.
So what the hell? Everyone cries. Mm-hmm. Tears are a form of processing emotion. Right. Tears are beautiful. In the Bible, it says that God stores up our tears in a bottle. And in heaven, there will be no more tears. So who cares if people see you crying? Who cares if they see you weak, if they see that you're not perfect? That's my point of view on self-esteem. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And to put it in an adult way, I'm not going to say the word, but when you get to a place when you just don't give an F, like that's freedom. And that's confidence. Yeah. Because you're so sure of yourself. You don't, it's not that you don't value the other person, it's that you're sure of yourself. Mm-hmm. You know, and it's not cocky, it's confidence. Yeah. Or as some people say, Godfidence.
Okay. All right.
I don't even know if people say that. I say that.
Yeah.
I just said it. Someone probably said it to me. Anyway.
Godfidence. Yeah.
Godfidence.
Yeah. Well, there is a verse that said, well, there's one, in my weakness, you are made strong. Mm-hmm. And I just heard somebody talking about that. As we decrease, he increases.
Well, that's
in
from
us.
the Bible. That's 2 Corinthians.
Yeah. I don't know. In my mind, maybe that runs counter to confidence, because confidence has to do with me and myself, me, myself, and I, you know? So I'm not sure how to negotiate the two of those, you know, confidence in God, confidence in myself, confidence in my abilities, confidence in his abilities. I don't know. I don't really know how to marry those two, I guess. But you know, what you and I have talked about many times, me in myself, you in yourself, anybody is worthy, right? We are worthy. You have that tattooed on your hand. And yeah, I am worthy. And so that to me is where I have to start. Because
That's good.
I probably don't really believe that. I don't really think that I'm worthy when it gets right down to it. You know, you're worthy. Other people are worthy.
Yeah, that's where
I'm not that
self-compassion comes in. And that's the hardest thing that I agree with you. To embrace is like, what the heck? I would extend that grace to someone else.
Yeah.
Versus when I look at myself and I criticize and I put myself down, or it's the inner voice.
Yeah, that inner voice. Is it my voice?
No.
Because I'm your mother. People say that.
No,
you know?
mine.
I hear my mother's voice in my head.
Maybe before, like, not necessarily yours, but my dad's. My dad, I feel like when I was younger, no knocking him, you know, because he had such a high level of expectation in his life, and his experiences had a very high bar.
Yes.
And so the expectation with him it wasn't perfection. It was, I love you and I want the best for you. And even this conversation I had with my daughter yesterday, can you listen to me? I love you and I'm trying to protect you. And that's what my dad, and yes, the voice might sometimes come across critical, but I think at the end of the day, it comes from love, because you're worthy of my love and you're worthy of my time. And it goes back to self-worth. You're right. And worthiness. Like, do you truly believe that you're worthy? And yes, in the Bible, it says that you're worthy of God's love, that for God so loved the world that he gave his one and only son. So we're all worthy. And, you know, my tattoo, when I look down sometimes, like I remember when I was first deciding to get it, I would draw it on my hand because I would look down and I would say, damn it, I am worthy. But I need to be reminded. Because in the Bible, it says it. Every day dealing with people, I don't necessarily perceive it, but it's ultimately my choice to believe it or not. Because you can say something super unloving and rude to me, like with our kids, like our kids, or if you have a teenager. Our teenagers, not the nicest people in the world.
Nope.
And we've all been teenagers, unless we are currently teenagers, or you're my teenager watching. And it's fine, because it's not personal. It's not, you know.
It's a time of life.
It's a time of life, and it's our choice.
Yeah, like it's a developmental level.
It's our choice to believe it. Like, do you believe that you're worthy? You know, like when someone gives you a big gift, you can say thank you, or you can say, like, I don't deserve it. Like, I need to give it back. Blah, blah, blah.
I have a lot of trouble giving gifts and receiving gifts.
You're a good gift giver.
Oh, I'm trying to get better at it. But, you know, one thing I was thinking about when you were talking about, you know, Dad and what he would say to you and things like that. I think one mistake that we make as parents with our children is we project ourselves onto them to the degree that somebody was telling me yesterday that her mother, people would say to her mother, oh, isn't your daughter so wonderful, and she has this career and she's doing great at it, she's very successful. And the mother's response was something like, yeah, but she's fat.
Oh my gosh, that's rude.
And so
I mean, that's missing the point.
Oh yeah, because we immediately jump to the I'm not, maybe, okay, I'm just going to say this like this. I'm not worthy. She's not worthy. She's my daughter. She's an offshoot of me. You know, she's a piece of me, right? And if she's not living up to all the expectations, then there's something the matter. If she's not getting hundreds, you know, if she's just getting 99s, what about that other point? You know, so as parents, we have to like let go a little bit and with our children, praise them the appropriate way and receive praise for them in the right and the appropriate way to sort of model from them for them how they need to receive praise. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and actually this morning I read something that someone that I know had put on social media, and it said, we often miss the point because we listen to respond instead of listen to understand. So in that case, I feel like, instead of understanding like, hey, your daughter's amazing.
Yeah.
The mom, and I'm not trying to put myself in her position, but she could have said, I'm just thinking, like, what would provoke that kind of response or invoke it? It is, well, I have to respond, instead of saying, she's right. You're right. My daughter is amazing. And guess what? I raised her. Yeah. And that's what anyway, I'm not going to talk about my situation with my daughter because she asked me to not talk about
to
her.
Zip it.
So I love
she
you,
said, zip
daughter, and I will not talk about you. I will not talk about those things. So anyway, that's just my thought.
Something about modesty and humility comes into that too, because how you want to be perceived. So in other words, using that example with the mother, my daughter might be great, and kind of thinking, okay, I might be great, or just not even be able to say great, maybe okay. But then having to temper that with, but I want to be modest. I want to be humble. So I'm not 100%, I'm still fat. I might be good at my career. I might be a good mom, but I haven't conquered, my eating habits or whatever. So in other words, having to be able to accept that, even to have to say, yeah, but there's something else wrong with me.
See, I think that goes back to worth. Like, are you worthy to receive the compliment? And that's one thing that I talk to my therapist a lot about, because, right now I could cry and be like, oh, poor Alex, XYZ. It's always a new thing with her. There's the whatever. Right. Even right now, like I'm supposed to be at a race for brain cancer awareness. And, they were celebrating. No, it was today. And they were celebrating the fact that I'm a brain cancer survivor. I cannot be there. I'm not going to go there and cry. And so what we were saying is, and I'm not saying this to sound cocky or like overly confident. I'm saying it because I am a very accomplished woman, no matter what I'm doing.
Right.
And I'm worthy of saying that.
Yeah.
I won this amazing award, Top 40 Under 40 Business Leaders. Yeah. I have an amazing relationship with my husband, a great relationship with my parents, with my children, with my siblings. And there's a lot of value in that. And I'm worthy of saying that. Like, it's not cocky. Now, if I was like, I make XYZ dollars, I have XYZ amount of money. To me, I think that's poor taste. I wouldn't do it. I think that goes that's crossing the line. Even talking to my own dad, I'm like, I like to shop at the, what is it called? Like the thrift store. And he's like, why? There's a hole in your shirt. Okay. There's bleach stains on my shirt. I don't care.
Yeah. Yeah. That's not what that's not how I value my worth.
That's not his preference.
Yeah,
it's mine. I don't
that's
care.
Not how
my shirt costs $3.
Well, I think we have a little bit of disagreement with him too, because I used to have a Mini Cooper, and I loved my Mini Cooper so much. I could go anywhere, fit into any parking space. Sophia could fit in her car seat in the back, and the two of us would drive around and listen to Bob Dylan. And now she has a project about Bob Dylan. But anyway.
Can't talk about her.
Right. I shouldn't have mentioned her name. Scratch that name. Anyway.
The girl.
Yeah,
anyway.
That girl. That's an amazing girl. But anyway, he wants me to have like a big, luxurious, he wants me to have a BMW or a Tesla. And I think he equates that with self-esteem. I think he does.
Well, you would have to ask him.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
I think
interesting, though.
maybe.
Yeah.
So in a way, I think he's trying to help me bolster my self-esteem that way. Isn't that crazy? I don't care about what I drive.
A lot of people have that thought, and there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
Like, I like nice things. I have a Burberry purse, and I also have a handmade purse from Venezuela. This is the purse that I'm using.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
that's fine. If you love Gucci, get yourself some Gucci if you can afford it. If you can't, don't. Go to the resale shop. Get a used Gucci.
Yeah.
Whatever. If you get a dollar store purse, get a dollar store purse. You are worthy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's no shame.
So that's what we want to say to you today. You are worthy, and whatever floats your boat, that's you. Mm-hmm. And embrace it. And so as we start, this is, day one of, let's bolster our self-esteem. What do we do? Mm-hmm. So any feedback and comments that you can give us about that, we're open. We're open to feedback.
That's right. That's something that I had to learn. Mm-hmm. I'm open for feedback.
Yeah. And we love you, and
we're
here for you.
You're worthy.
You are
Embrace
worthy.
the undoing.
Yep.
Bye.